Welcome back, everybody, to our podcast. I know we're late. Hi again. My name's Bree.
Late but not pregnant.
Yes. And today, we're going to be doing a movie review.
Not just any movie, but a movie about May. I mean, you could say serendipitous.
Well, I kind of picked it out to be around this time on purpose, but if you want to take it that way, that's fine.
That's
Oh
fine.
my God, Kelsey, once again, ruining
Oh my
everything
god. Okay.
on purpose. On purpose. Just so you guys know what friendship with Kelsey is like, it's exactly like this.
Whatever. I'm just pointing out that I literally told you when I picked out the movie, like, oh, it's almost Midsommar. We should watch Midsommar. And you were like, oh, yeah.
So the movie we're doing a review on is obviously Midsommar. As you might have heard.
Directed by Mr. Ari Aster, who also directed Hereditary. If you haven't heard our review on that, go listen to it. It's actually an episode that I'm still quite proud of because we sounded smart.
So smart.
We did.
We did. So we're going to start on our thoughts. And
Well, the
feelings.
summary first,
No.
and then
No. We're gonna do this plot summary.
Yes.
Jump the gun.
Yes.
Kelsey,
as usual.
it's your episode. You tell us about the plot.
All right. So, just so you're all aware, spoilers are abound throughout the entire episode, as with any and all of our reviews. So, Midsommar is about psychology student Danny, who is traumatized after her sister Terry kills herself and their parents by filling their home with carbon monoxide. Love that. She also happens to be in a shitty relationship with a shitty person named Christian who wants to break up with her, but now he can't because, her whole family died, so he would look like an asshole if he dumped her, which, yes, he would be an asshole if he dumped her right after that happened. And I think it's like a few months after that happens. I don't know how long after it happens that Christian's friend Pele, right? I'm never going to pronounce this correctly. He's like a Swedish friend of theirs. He wants them to attend this Midsummer celebration, and Christian invites Danny to come with him because, she doesn't want to be alone because her whole family just died, and it would just be kind of fucked up if he left her alone for, like, I don't know how long this Midsummer celebration is. And it's a celebration that
9 days.
Yeah, 9 days. It only occurs every 90 years. And their mutual friend Josh, who's also going, wants to attend so he can write his thesis on it. And then their other
because they're anthropology students.
Yes. And then Mark wants to go. The other friend, because he wants to fetishize.
Bang hot Swedish women, and that's like a quote from the movie. That's not me. That's him.
He's when he gets his comeuppance, it's good. He deserves it. I hate that character so fucking much because he's the one that's like the least sympathetic towards Danny, and I'm like, no.
He's also like, okay, he's played by one of my favorite actors, and he always plays these like kind of like douchebaggy roles. But honestly, he does them so well that credit where credit is due, guys.
Yeah. So they go to Sweden for the celebration, and like at first everything looks all cute and fun and pagany, and we love that. And they do psychedelic mushrooms,
which we love.
But things are not as they seem, and that's where I'm gonna leave that summary. Do we wanna go?
Bree, take it away, baby.
Here we go.
So, when I was told like we were doing this episode and everything, I sat there and I wondered. It's like, okay, how am I going to approach this during the discussion?
By putting it off.
That too.
Bree loves to procrastinate.
Kind of procrastination. I know this. Sometimes it's really hard. So I was wondering if I should like play out, like just talk about all the things that I noticed and then give like my final opinion, or if I should just save you guys the grace and just say it.
Just give us your fucking opinion.
That was a really good breakup revenge movie.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, Bree. Kelsey, I'm gonna start fighting.
Why?
Kelsey, I'm going to start.
Why? It is though.
Okay, like
it was good.
It's not about the breakup though.
No,
it's about
it's sort of
love and healing and like acknowledging the pain of your past.
No, hold on. No, see,
the
here's
director
the
says
thing.
it's about both.
There was an actual
Okay,
interview.
fine.
So here's what. Let me explain. So I watched the movie, right? And
Yeah.
every time I watch the movie, I go and I read articles and shit, like other people's opinions and like things that I might have missed. Like I go do my research. Okay.
You know, I purposely did not look up a single person's review on this except for like a couple of the director's comments, but like I purposely did not watch anything because I like wanted like, you know, like that internal like
you wanted your own shit, but that's what I did. Because like I was obviously a little confused at the end because like when I watched it, you know, the first time, I didn't really realize like it was basically a breakup movie. Like that's what it was. And like seeing the end part where she's like smiling at the very end and then it cuts out, I was like, well, what the fuck did I miss? So I had to look it up. And he wrote this, he directed this as he was going through a breakup, and he was like, he basically modeled Danny's character after what he was going through, like emotionally. So there's like a really strong connection with it, and it like really did come through in the movie. But it is a breakup revenge. And it was done so fucking well. I was uncomfortable throughout the whole movie, and that's all I really ask for. Like, I just want to be a little unsettled, a little uncomfortable. Like, that's bare minimum. And this movie did
I totally
so
get that for
good.
your first watch. Yeah, no. I totally get that for your first watch then.
Yeah,
never mind. I retract my outburst.
Thank you. I really liked it. And, like, I'm a little confused as to why you guys thought I wasn't going to like it, especially since I actually liked Hereditary.
Because you are a wild card. I thought you would like The Picture of Dorian Gray because it's a perfect book. But no, you didn't like that. You didn't like Nightbreed either.
Yeah, well, anyway, I did like this one. I really did like
Miracles
this one.
happen once in a while.
So, I mean, the thing was, other than, like, the smile thing, because, like, when I was watching it, I kind of felt like it was more of, like, we're gonna see, like, a dark, nitty-gritty pagan ritual that's been done for, like, ever, apparently. And, like, that's kind of where I thought the movie was going to, and, like, it just had, like, its own, like, dramatic edge with the problems that Danny and Christian were going through. And, like, I got a little twisted at the end, and I was like, oh shit, okay, that's not where we're going. And then when I read the articles, I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. I really liked the fucking movie, and the Easter eggs were really easy to find. It was pretty easy to like keep track of what was going on in the story and seeing the foreshadowing and understanding it and everything. Other than the fucking smile, like I was so confused on that until I read it. But
okay, perfect moment. Yes. Okay, the smile. The Mona Lisa, legendary. We stan the smile at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, since watching it a second time, I've had two completely like different reactions to the movie during the second time watching it that were like even more different than the first time I watched it. So the first time I watched it, it was, Kelsey, when did we watch it? Like last year?
You watched it
2019?
I watched it like I think a month after it came out on like VOD.
Yeah, and then you called me and you told me about it, and then you made me watch it.
Yes, because of Hereditary, because I was obsessed with Hereditary, and your dumbass went to go see Hereditary by yourself, and I was like, you have to watch his other movie too now. You have to do it.
By the way, giant mistake. Please don't watch Hereditary by yourself. It's so scary. Oh my God. I called her after Hereditary, and I was like, I mean, thank you, because that was an excellent movie, but also go fuck yourself. Like,
He
how
was
could you let
texting
me
me
do
throughout.
this?
They were texting me throughout the movie like, I hate this. Why am I here? I'm like, where are you? I'm watching Hereditary. With who? Myself? Why would you do that? I don't know. Like, you're stupid.
It was an experience. So the first time I watched Midsommar, I had a kind of similar reaction to Hereditary. I called her and I'm like, I hate you. I hate this movie. Why did you make me go through this trauma? It was so good, but oh God, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was
Watching it,
good. It
it
was
was
good.
excellent. It was excellent. I also pretty much saw it as kind of like a euphoric breakup movie with somebody that spent like the last 3, 4 months gaslighting you about losing your family and blaming you for not wanting to constantly have sex with him. Um, and also, what else did you, oh, forgot your birthday. Made you feel bad about crying.
You know who didn't
Um,
forget her birthday? You know who didn't forget her birthday? Pele.
Belle.
Hmm.
No. So, no, we picked up on those red flags, Mama. Um, we were very happy to see the ending, which we're going to get into in a little bit. So, what happened during Miss Quarantine's, ungodly reign?
What?
We
What?
have, I said during quarantine's ungodly reign,
Uh-huh.
quarantine, because we're all locked up,
Uh-huh. We get that part.
Yeah, I just
Okay, fine, Jesus. I thought it was cute. Leave me alone. I was
Okay,
being spooky and gay. Is it okay that I say that the three of us have kind of gotten a little bit of a spiritual awakening?
yeah, we're technically yeah, we've gone through this a spiritual awakening.
Polytheistic pagans, Mama.
Yeah. So like the group itself is a form they're pagans, not in the same way that we are. I didn't see any like witchcraft or anything, but
No, no, no. It was very herb focused,
yeah, just herbs.
naturopath.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
very much earth magic, I would say. Yeah, I've had a very different perspective rewatching the movie now. So I see her now as not necessarily the main character, but definitely like a primary focus of the film and what it's trying to tell. Everybody around her studies cultures and peoples, right? So she's surrounded by anthropology students,
mm-hmm.
but none of them are paying attention to her, which is like laughably ironic. And this is the thing. Like, I guess her boyfriend is being a douche because Mr. Christian, that's his name, is being a douche. And this entire time, he, as an anthropology student, has no idea what he wants his thesis to be on, and he's going through like sort of like a educational identity crisis. Would you say that's accurate?
Was that him that didn't know what his thesis was on, or
Yeah,
was
that
it?
was him, and it
Josh?
was like
Okay. Oh
after
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what
Yeah,
Oh,
were
and
the
he was
major
gonna steal
things?
the idea from Josh. I got it now. I
exactly,
forgot.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So, which is wow, a statement on itself that I'm gonna get into as
Yeah,
well.
like he
Um,
not only is he a shitty boyfriend, he seems to be a shitty friend.
exactly. We're gonna talk about the sense of entitlement that he, as a character, exudes in the film. That was
Yeah.
kind of nauseating to experience, to be honest. So she's a psychologist or a psychology student, and she's going through one of the hardest things that you can experience, which is like losing all of your family in one moment at the hands of a family member. You know
Murder
what I mean?
suicide.
Yeah,
Because the sister was
double
suffering
murder
through
suicide.
bipolar and suicidal tendencies, and
Yeah,
Danny was taking anxiety meds
yeah, yeah.
because of the stress of
She
her
has
sister.
panic attacks. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like realizing her very worst fears coming true.
And especially like in the beginning of the movie, like Danny did like make a mention that like her and Christian's relationship was really strained, and she felt like she was being a
Yes,
burden and everything.
being a burden by just being a human being.
Yes.
Because I just want to say, from what I saw, Danny had done nothing wrong in the relationship. Danny was having a hard time because her family was putting undue stress that would be hard for any person that's a human to handle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and instead of being understanding and being a compassionate and empathetic human being, he's mad that he's not getting laid often enough and that she's annoying him with all of her problems.
Yeah, and like
Like,
the Mark character too, when they were discussing it at like whatever it was, like the pub or whatever,
yeah,
like
just a
going off and
misogynistic
saying,
psychopath.
yeah, going off and saying how like she was being abusive and everything
Yes,
in that regards, and it's like, ugh, God,
yes,
gross.
by literally calling him because she had just received news that her family was murdered.
Oh
So
shit.
that was abuse. I would just like everybody to remember what the situation was. Mark is a piece of shit. We don't stand Mark. So, anyways, they were planning on going to Sweden and ditching her until she was like, "Wait, are you serious?" And so they were like, "Well, I guess you can come."
Well, yeah,
And then we later
Christian
find
asked
out,
her.
yeah,
Christian
but
asked
then
her.
we later found out that it was Pele that gave Christian the idea to do it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Christian made a
Which is,
statement of like, I asked her, but I don't think she's going. And then like Pele talked to her, and he's like, I'm really looking forward to you going, and that like kind of like
yeah.
cemented her decision.
And that was the
And
scene right before that like incredible transition from like the
oh
apartment into the
god,
airplane. Oh,
the transitions in this film are so smooth.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, and the shots used on it were fucking beautiful. Beautiful.
God damn it. It can't be a podcast episode if I'm not munching on something. What the fuck is wrong with me, you guys?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, it was the way that they did the whole story building on the entire film too was incredibly smooth and easy to digest. But it was also like
It
really
was a
easy to get
pleasure,
lost and
honestly.
everything.
The world building was excellent.
It was so well
let's
done.
you literally felt like you were there for 2.5 hours.
Yes. And the colors that they used, oh my god, it was so beautiful.
So, I don't know if you guys are comfortable with talking about, your spiritual journeys, but I'm just going to talk about like, how like when you actively are trying to become a better person, there's this thing that's recommended you do that's called shadow work, which is basically kind of like coming to terms with some of the pain that you've caused, some of the pain that's been caused to you, and examining like, how your life decisions have been impacting others and yourself, and how others' negative decisions have impacted you, and really unpacking that and almost being like, I guess, grateful in a way for it, because, these very difficult things or bad decisions that you may have made were actually like opportunities for you to grow as a person and have been a part of, the shaping of who you are. And, whether you choose to learn from those experiences and get value from them is, part of the work, I would say, right? And so I felt like that's also one of the messages that the film was trying to portray, because here's this young woman who's just kind of like a lost child right now because she literally is an orphan and without any family left in the world. And then she gets welcomed into a community that recognizes her pain and grieves with her and shows her love and understanding, and talks about, how we're all connected and that each of us has a life cycle and that life cycle gets renewed. And it helps her go through her grief and actually process what has been going on with her, and almost like what she needs to do to heal herself and release any guilt that she has, and just be, you know, open to the idea that there is still room for family, there is still room for love, there is still room for like self acceptance and learning to re love yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
And that was kind of like, I guess, like my psychology interpretation of it. But like the spiritual interpretation of the film is wow. And I think this is the one that we were thinking that we were going to share. Like
Yeah.
the, I don't know if I can speak for everyone, but I have talked to a few people about it, and quite a few of us share the same experience of, after doing mushrooms, feeling a much more like connected feeling to like nature, to people around you, to yourself. Like you almost feel like you've been opened up more creatively. It's easier for you to let yourself be happy and content. And the beginning of her journey, before she even arrives to the town, is when she takes the magic mushroom tea,
Yeah.
and she starts to experience a reconnection to nature, because we see she sees the grass growing from her hands.
Yeah, she's like,
And
she has a more pleasant experience, if I remember correctly, than the guys do.
yes, she does. And
Okay.
that was the first time that she was confronted sort of with the death of her parents while she was having a panic attack. And then she woke up later and realized, oh, I'm okay. Like, yes, that happened, but I get to wake up.
Yeah.
And then another moment where it was kind of like a mirrored moment with that was during the May dance, before she was crowned the May Queen, where as the music begins, she looks down at her feet. Oh, and before that, she drinks a spring waters infused with properties, I believe is how one of the characters described it in the
Drugs.
film. Yes. And she looks down before the dance starts, and she sees the grass kind of growing from her feet. So and that was when she once again was having moments of euphoria, of grief, of joy, of laughter, of sisterhood. And it was like very mirrored themes. It's like contrasted what she had lost with what she is gaining. And then after she gets crowned the May Queen, and they're all gathering around her and they're touching her face and they're letting her know that she's loved, she sees her mother looking at her and walking by, as almost like a releasing of that guilt or that pain, and learning that it is part of the life cycle, and it is just something that she needs to accept.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which I think is like very, very beautiful. And then in the end scene, when Christian passes away, because I'll let you do that part, because I know you're just itching for it.
Oh my god.
In the end scene, the way that I was interpreting it was like commitment moment. So she committed to this new life. She committed to, following her truth, and like her knowing her value, and almost like a final refusal to let people abuse her, and knowing that she was in a place that was going to care for her, and it was safe for her to be there, and it was going to be the best place for her to be, to start her new journey. So I don't know, like maybe I'm being like too mushy gushy about it, but like horror movies can be spiritual, baby. At least this one is.
So. I think this
What
one
is what is your what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Well,
obviously. Whoa. She's back.
Hey, how's it going? Damn it. Okay. So I only got the tail end of that because I had to go take care of some personal business and everything. But from what the feeling that I was getting from it, it was like, yeah, it was cool and all that, like she was able to like find people that actually cared about her in such a devastating moment of her life, it still felt culty.
Well, yeah,
Well,
And
yeah,
that's a
like,
given.
and like it was, I can see like some of the stuff that you were saying. Like it was sweet that she was able to have comfort while she was going through everything, and like finding like, you know, people that actually cared about her versus the ones that are supposed to care and don't really care, and like seeing her like move forward with it, like it was really cool. But like it still like brings me to the thought of cults always like prey
Love
on
bomb.
the vulnerable, and it like
This
made
is
me
very true.
sad. It made me sad that that's she had to go to that kind of environment in order to find the love and acceptance that she needed.
Well, that is what a lot of cults do offer, though. You know, like,
Yeah.
especially to people that have nothing left. I guess, like, for some people, that is a positive aspect, or at least that's why they stay.
Yeah. I mean, like I said at the beginning, it was a really good like breakup revenge movie. Cuz I
See,
am
I don't
happy that
see
she
it
got
as
out
a
of that.
revenge movie though. Like I don't see it.
Yeah.
It
I don't
it
get the revenge
See,
thing.
the
what do you?
revenge part the
I
revenge part came
would,
when he
I would
died.
be very interested in
That
hearing.
wasn't revenge
Kelsey,
though.
what are
That was
your
more
thoughts
like
about
karma.
No, that is absolutely revenge because she is vulnerable the whole time that she's going through this. She lost her family.
Not
She's
revenge.
thinking she's going to lose her boyfriend and
Oh
everything.
God.
She's got no fucking connection. She's going over to this new strange area where all of a sudden she's like being praised and whatnot. And then because of the fucking sex ritual thing, she's thinking her fucking boyfriend's like done with her after they had some problems like going through the whole story.
He was
And
done
then
with
like she
her
had
at the
the
very
she
beginning of
had
the
the
film.
opportunity to either kill him or kill a member of the cult because they had to have the 9 sacrifices towards the end of the festival.
Okay, but
And
maybe
she
maybe
did
that
both.
act
Okay,
maybe
but
that
that's
act
the
was
part.
revenge,
Okay,
but the movie itself is not revenge, is what I'm saying. The movie
Well,
itself
yeah.
is
it's
not a revenge
breakup
movie.
for sure, but the revenge part
Bree,
comes
Bree,
from that.
Bree. The ending is Kelsey's. The ending is Kelsey's gig, girl. So we're not taking that from her. But also, Kelsey, I'd love to hear your like thoughts on the spiritual interpretation.
Oh God. Okay. I kind of had similar thoughts as to you. Not the first time I watched it, not the second time I watched it. I've watched this movie like 4 times. But I watched it like before we even decided to do the episode. I watched it right after we had that conversation that one
Uh
afternoon.
huh. Yes.
And like I of course when I the first few times I watched it, I definitely saw it just as like a breakup movie where a girl is pretty much, you know, taken advantage of by a cult, which is still true. That is still what the
Yes.
movie is. They are. I don't doubt that they care about her in their own way and like they want to help her or whatever, and I definitely don't doubt Pele's attraction to her or anything like that, but it doesn't change the fact that they were taking advantage of a very vulnerable person. Um, but watching it now as a pagan, as somebody who's going through their own spiritual awakening, it feels very similar as to what I'm going through right now, minus the breakup, because I haven't been in a relationship in a while, thank God. Um, so I don't.
Yeah, but you had a very similar relationship.
I had a very similar. Yeah, I guess that's true. A little more abuse. Um, Christian, fucking Christian. Like I will say, like my mind has changed a little bit on Christian. Like I no longer. I don't know why I saw this the first few 2 times. I no longer think that that scene with the sex ritual is cheating. I think that's rape because they drugged him and they dragged him into that room. Essentially, he could. There was
Very
no.
true.
He could not consent.
100%. I
I
agree
mean, he's
with
still a
that.
piece
Very
of
good.
shit and deserved what happened to him, in my opinion. But he did
Not
not.
that specific part.
Not that. That part was rape, and I don't like how in certain articles that I've read that they treat it like he cheated on her. Like, no, that was rape. Like he was drugged. You cannot consent to sex when you are drugged. Um, in that way, and that seems so weird. Like I've never watched that movie with anyone, and I'm glad I didn't. Because could you imagine watching that specific
Oh,
scene.
wow, that would be so awkward. Yeah, no, Midsommar is definitely a good movie to just watch by yourself,
Yeah,
honestly.
don't watch it with other people. But yeah, like
Yeah.
what she goes through throughout the movie is very similar to like a spiritual awakening in itself, because it starts out like rough and realizing hard truths that you don't want to realize and being in denial of those hard truths. Like she's in denial about how bad of a boyfriend Christian is, and how and her what level
And
of guilt
honestly,
she
how
feels for her family.
traumatizing,
Yeah, and how
herself. Yes. Sorry for the blunt interruption, but I felt like it was warranted.
blunt interruption.
When I said, like, breathe, 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 I was like,
Oh, the
okay,
revenge part when she was getting heated.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I just like I okay, like I don't see it as that. Like I think yes, that part
yeah,
was
no,
an act of revenge, but it's not a revenge film. That's not what the film is
exactly.
about.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, because you can have
I am
revenge in
so,
movies without it being a revenge genre.
honestly, I am so happy that we saw it the same way the last time we watched the movie.
Well, yeah, because like I mean, not to go into. Well, I'm just gonna like it does feel like a spiritual awakening that she's going through, because it's like I said,
Yeah.
traumatizing, and then just slow self-awareness of what's going on and doing the
And
shadow
then
work and everything.
self-healing and then the self-love aspect. Yeah, no, it's a totally spiritual film.
Like I'm not saying people should go out and join cults and kill their boyfriends, but
Yeah, no, same,
don't do
same.
that.
Poor Josh.
Yeah, I mean, like he did some shitty things, but he did not deserve his comeuppance. Like he didn't deserve.
No, no, he didn't deserve to die.
He deserved to get
Neither did,
thrown out of the camp for like
neither
fighting
did,
for like shit.
yeah, no, but neither did Connie or Simon.
No, the only people that deserved to die were Mark and Christian.
Yeah,
No one else.
yes,
So yeah, like with the whole like the grief, the loss of her family, and the loss of who she is as a person. Um, fuck, I've lost my train of thought because it was so long. And then I talked about the rape scene
yes,
and how we need to stop calling it a cheating scene because it's not.
yes.
Why am I spacing out so hard, guys?
Because I
Oh my
kept having
god.
to leave for adult reasons.
Yes.
But yeah, essentially, like what Danny goes through is not only a breakup. It is what, like Josh said, a spiritual awakening, like the grief of oneself and the grief of the loss around her. Because one of the things that you experience with a spiritual awakening, and she experienced throughout the film, is the realization that people are not who you think they are. That's why a lot of people, when they go through spiritual awakenings, they lose family and friends, because you're like, oh shit, this person is like incredibly toxic or incredibly fake or whatever, like something that we recently went through with people. um so she went through that, and she found her own community, which a lot of people through spiritual awakenings do find if you don't live in a podunk conservative racist town like we do. um and even though I do think they were taking advantage of her, like for her vulnerability, like cults do, I do think there was a part that they genuinely cared about her. I don't think they saw themselves as doing evil things, even though they were doing evil things. Like regardless of how we feel about the people they did those evil things
They
to,
thought that they were helping.
they
They
thought
want,
they were helping. I will
yeah.
say that like I don't mind like the scene with the old people like jumping to their death. I don't think that was evil or bad. I think like if people want to die because they're old and they don't want to live on anymore, I don't consider that
Well,
bad.
not only that, but it's like it's a sense of control. You
Yeah,
know,
they
like
have
they have
control
like
over
a
Yeah.
evil
specific
people.
age as to when these people are supposed to pass. So it's like a way to control the unknown. So they
Yeah.
don't feel so fearful of it. They're not like so terrified. It goes along with the fucking cult feeling. Because you're feeling at home with these people, you feel safe and everything, and it's like, yeah, sure, okay, I have control. You're there to help me. Love you too.
I just wish like they wouldn't have died that way. Like why couldn't they do something else to kill them? That was a little and a way to recruit people into your cult is by not showing them suicide. I don't know who thought like, yep, this is a great
Well, I don't
idea.
know. It
Let's
worked for
kill them.
Danny.
She was
Yeah.
horrified by it though at
She was
first. Like you have
horrified,
to
but she
admit.
still joined the cult.
Well, yeah, because they actually cared about her and listened to her. Like the entire time, the only people that would talk to her were the cult members and Pele, and they like actually listened to what she had to say and what her feelings were.
And
Whereas,
they
like,
validated her pain and her
they
grief.
validated her pain. Whereas Mark ignored her, Christian pretty much ignored her and gaslit her, and Josh was like, I'm gonna write my thesis and break into shit and then get murdered because I'm stupid. Like she like I understand that logically we're supposed to be like, no, cult bad, but like I don't know. I kind of think I would have joined the cult too. Especially knowing that like that festival only happens 90 every 90 years, so like, oh, I won't have to kill anyone. I'll be dead by then. I'll have jumped off that cliff at that point. And here's this cute Swedish boy who likes me and gave me something for my birthday when my boyfriend forgot that I even had a birthday. Like, huh, this doesn't seem so bad. Oh, and also we're in Sweden where it's pretty and everything is like green and nature and mountains and good food. Like, I kind of get it. And I don't think, though, I would have, I don't know. I don't know if I would have personally picked Christian in the end to go burn in the fire. Maybe. I think he kind of deserved it. That scene. Like the whole movie, like you see this like yellow building thing that's kind of in the background. It stands out like in contrast to the other buildings that are in the compound or commune, whatever you want to call it. And you don't know what that building is for until the very end where you see Christian in the bear suit, two volunteers from the community, and like a stuffed version of like Mark. Like they like made him like a scarecrow or something.
They
Like I
made
don't know
him a
what it
doll.
was. Yeah, a doll.
Yeah,
There you go. Fuck him.
a
He deserved that.
fool. A fool's doll.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
fool's
and
doll.
they light it on fire for like a sacrifice or something. I don't remember what it was, but and they grieve and the cult people grieved with the people that were burning and they did their little cry scream thing and obviously Danny kind of you can see that she kind of feels some guilt for what she's done, but in the end it's like I don't
I
know how
think
you
it was
describe
that
it.
scene is actually when she sobered up because she was tripping throughout most of that.
Yeah.
And I think like the moment where she like realized like what was happening and it panned on her face and then she started to smile, like that's when she was like sober ish.
I mean, if anyone deserves a smile and a good time, it's Danny. So like enjoy your sacrifice, sweetie. And I know that like there's a lot of people online that don't like to see this movie as a happy ending, but I personally see it as a happy ending. I'm not saying that those people deserve to die or whatever, but I
It was happy
think
for the main or for Danny.
it was a happy ending for Danny in the same way that oh, you haven't watched The Witch. God damn it, Brianna. I would compare this ending to that of The Witch, which I also think was a
Yeah,
happy ending.
I agree. I agree completely.
Yeah, but I definitely think that it's more than just a breakup movie. It's her going through a breakup and her finding her true self and going through a spiritual awakening and finding her true found family and maybe love. I ship them so hard. I ship Haley and Danny so hard, and I know it's toxic, but I just wanted her to be happy. From like scene one, I just like this poor little cinnamon roll of a girl is in a shitty situation. She has people using and abusing her, not only in her family, but with her stupid, not even cute, mediocre white cis straight boyfriend who thinks he's entitled to everything, like every other white, mediocre cis straight man. Like, I don't know. I think it was a happy ending. I think it was a spiritual and a breakup movie. I disagree about the revenge thing, but that's pretty much I don't know. That's pretty much it. The ending was great though. I really liked it.
The whole movie was great.
Yeah, no, the whole movie was great, but like the ending was like
Yeah.
was chef's kiss.
I'm not gonna lie
I don't
though.
know if I like it better than Hereditary. I don't know which one I like more. I like both of them a lot.
I'm still not
I don't
over
want
that
to
one
hear
scene.
about the wall crawling scene, Brie. I don't want to
I'm
hear
not
about
over
it.
that.
Get over it.
No.
It was scary and cool.
It was not scary. It ruined the illusion.
How did I don't understand? It's a movie about a demon inhabiting a body. Did you expect realism, Linda?
I expected not to realize that they put her on fucking rollerblades and rolled her across the floor.
I liked that.
I hated that. But that's not the movie we're talking about.
Yeah, no, that's a move. That's something that Bree's wrong about. It's fine.
Focus, focus.
Anyway, anybody else have anything to say?
Go watch Midsommar if you haven't. It's
Yeah.
almost Midsummer. It's at the end of the month, so go watch it. Do it for like a Midsummer celebration. Just watch
It's
shitty people get
it's very
murdered.
nice. It's very nice. It's subtly unsettling for most of it, and then massively unsettling for some of it.
Yes, watch it multiple times too. What you have to watch it more than once. Like I don't. You have to. Like it's a rule. Same with Hereditary. You have to watch these films more than once.
I don't want to.
I second that.
I don't want to.
And The Witch, you have to watch The Witch more than once.
Brianna, this is a movie where you have to watch the movie more than once.
I
Don't care
want
if you don't
to.
want to. But then you're missing the point. What's the point of watching the movie if you don't get the point?
What's wrong with the point I have now?
You called it a revenge film.
Yeah.
It's not a revenge film.
That's what the article said. And I agree with it.
Incorrect.
Whatever. Anybody else?
Yeah. Another aspect which I found Christian to be shitty in is the fact that he acts like he has no like ownership or say in any of the decisions that he's making.
Yes.
even though he tries so hard to make the most selfish decision. It's astounding.
He wants an excuse to make that. He wants a reason to be selfish and make him look like the martyr, like the victim, whatever, instead of I don't know, the actual victim, Danny. Danny's the victim. You are not a victim, sir, except for in that one circumstance. But no, I hate him. I hate him so much.
That boy.
Anything else?
Thank you. I think that we should just do the closing.
Well, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and all of our podcast sites. Once again, I will continue to be leaving links where you can donate and find ways to support not only the Black community but the AAPI community. It is a AAPI Heritage Month. So I will be leaving resources for that and how you can help them, because there is a surge of fucking hate crimes against Asians right now because of, the coronavirus and people like Trump or whatever. We're still going to be leaving links to that so that you can support these communities, because they are going through it and they have been going through it since forever. Yay, America. But other than that, hopefully we'll be back soon. No guarantees. And yeah, that's it.
This has been Kelsey, Bree, and Trina, the nymph of fertility, wishing you another spooky sesh, however long that's going to take. But, take care of yourselves, babies, and stay spooky.
I don't have anything cool to say, so goodbye.
Oh my god.